here, and that is where we have the rotation that we're going to be watching. So this cell right here, so it's to the east of Lake City. So that is some good news. It's not over a super densely populated area, but I am concerned that it's going to cross over some highways and some interstates. So this is moving to the north, and Ryan, I believe it's moving about 35 miles an hour. Is that correct?
Yes, it's moving 35 miles per hour north right now.
Awesome. Would you mind putting a track on that for us, please?
Yes.
You can see that Sanderson is included in this tornado warning. So we're just going to get a track on this cell here to give an update, a heads up to everyone who may be in the path. Now, good news for those of you watching from Duval County, Nassau, Putnam, Clay, St. John's, everyone to the east here, you are not in the warning, so this does not concern you. However, I need you to stay alert throughout the day today as well, because these cells are moving to the east and they could bring a tornado risk across the First Coast today. All right, so here's where that cell is heading. It could be in Kenny by 3:08 p.m. and it could be in Clarking by 3:40 p.m. So right now, this is a tornado warning that is over Union, Columbia, and Baker counties. It goes until 3 o'clock. Now, we know a lot of you are watching programming right now and you want to get back to your NBC or ABC programming. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep a close eye on these cells here. All of them, you see how all of these have boxes around them? That's a special weather statement. All of them, unfortunately, have the ability to produce a spin up. So we're going to keep tracking these cells for you online. You can head to YouTube and watch it. You can head to First Coast News Facebook page and watch our streaming, and the First Coast News Plus, the app, the website, and you can get our streaming there. For now, though, I'm going to get off NBC and ABC. Please come join us over on our online streaming platforms as we continue to track this tornado warning.
Stay with the First Coast's most accurate weather team. Stay safe and informed. Download the First Coast News app now. First Coast News, on your side.
We are still tracking this tornado warning. Thank you to everyone who is still tracking it with us right now on all of our social media and website and app platforms. So again, right now what we are watching is this tornado warning, and I'm joined by Ryan Jones behind the scenes too, who is watching this with me. Ryan, if you wouldn't mind, let's clear the screen, zoom in a bit, and get a look at velocity to see if we can really pinpoint exactly where that is rotating. This is a tornado warning that is on until 3 o'clock. And again, it's for areas west of Jacksonville. So if you're watching along the coastal communities, the beach communities, this does not involve you. Look at that right there. There's that rotation that we will be watching. So this is over Union County right now, but it looks like it's heading towards Sanderson. So Ryan, if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could track that as well and put another track on this so we can give a heads up to how soon it could be in Sanderson. As of the last update from the National Weather Service, they said that this was moving to the north and northeast. Northeast, I believe, at 35 miles an hour. So a heads up, we could have a possible tornado over Union County, and it looks like it's moving into Baker County. We're still keeping an eye on those of you in Columbia County as well, because you can see you are still in that tornado warning, but this is east of Lake City. However, Lake City, you were right on the outline of that severe thunderstorm warning. For everyone seeing the thunderstorms coming through now this afternoon into this evening, I need everyone to be on alert, just because these thunderstorms, even if they don't produce a spin up tornado, they could produce strong, damaging straight line winds of 60 miles an hour. And that can cause damage. It can make debris fly through your windows. So even if you are in a severe thunderstorm warning, it's good to get indoors, away from windows, into an interior room. All right, thank you, Ryan. So this is the cell that we're watching where it's rotating. Also, something else I'm just going to point out to you guys really quick. You see how it's a bit darker here in the middle? That could be some signs of hail as well. So we have the possibility of hail, damaging straight line winds, and spin up tornadoes. So there's some lightning too, showing that it's a strengthening storm, and it is moving to the north. So Ryan tracked this out for us. A Lusty, it could be there at 2:46 p.m. So it's knocking on your back doorstep right now. It is there. If you are in the Lusty area, you need to be in your safe safe spot right now. In Manspur, it could be there by 2:56 p.m. Sanderson at 3:02 p.m. So then it's going to continue to move to the northeast. So places like Kenny and Taylor School, you are not in the tornado warning right now, but if this continues to spin and stays strong, it could move over your way by 3:12 for Kenny and by 3:20 p.m. for Taylor School. So this is our tornado warning. But again, Ryan, also was wondering if we could maybe get a look at some of the hail tools we have. Let's see if we're also seeing any sorts of hail. And there's also some lightning building too, so we could take a look at our lightning counter when Ryan has a chance. She's doing a great job behind the scenes. And I also want to point out to you guys, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. So that's also places north Columbia County. We could see some strong winds there and some hail. Look at this. All right. So here's where we're watching that severe storm, and it's showing the possibility of hail here across Union County, even some hail showing up near Columbia County as well. These are individualized cells. What we don't want to happen is for the cloud cover to break apart. If you walk outside right now and you say, oh, look, the sky is blue, how nice is that? That is not good, because that means it's heating up the atmosphere, it's making it unstable, and therefore it has more potential to start to spin and form a tornado. So we saw a little bit of clearing in some areas, including out by the beaches, and that's why as these cells move towards the east and towards the coast, we're going to continue to watch them closely for the possibility of a spin up tornado, because the energy might be there to get it to spin. Again, right now we are on air though, or we are on your streaming platforms for a tornado warning. So let's pull that warning back up so you get another idea of exactly where it is. All right, there is the cell. That's where we saw rotation. We took a look at velocity, and we can go back and look at velocity again just to see exactly where the rotation is. There we go. You can see it again, just generally speaking, it's where the red and the green start to connect and come together, and you don't like to see the colors getting brighter either. And we can see that green is starting to get a bit brighter. So that is where we would likely have a possible tornado. If there's a tornado on the ground, it would be in northern Union, and it's heading towards Sanderson. It's also heading towards I-10. So if you have any family or friends that are traveling along I-10, heading towards Jacksonville from the Lake City area or vice versa, tell them to pull over, wait till this crosses the interstate. That is the last place you want to be when we have a tornado moving. It's to be stuck in your car on an interstate. And unfortunately, this is heading towards I-10. So again, this is where we would have that possible rotation. There's that cell right there. And we won't rule out this side either. All of these cells really have the potential of spinning and of producing a tornado. But right now, this is where that tornado warning is, and this is the cell that we're watching as it moves to the northeast. So again, places like Lake City and White Springs, you're not included in this. You are on the west side of the storm, so that's good for you. But those of you, again, in the Sanderson area, it looks like it's heading towards your direction. Lake Butler, you are not included in this either. So a lot of this, again, it's just over a lot of forested areas, not super populated, which is good, but we do know that we have homes here and there throughout all of these areas across the First Coast. So again, if you are right within this area where Baker, Columbia, and Union all come together, that area mainly moving into Baker County now, that's where we have the potential for a tornado. We'll also watch this over into Columbia though, and look at all that lightning as well. Maybe we could get a check of the lightning, get a count of the lightning too. A lot of these earlier, we didn't have lightning within those storms, but lightning is a sign of a strengthening storm. So it's something we don't want to see. So the number of strikes right now, we'll continue to watch as they build, unfortunately, within this storm. Ryan, something else too, we could go get a check on the severe thunderstorm warning off to the north. And earlier as well, we had a tornado warning over Valdosta. So it's just to show you, look at all of these storms here. Notice how all of them, unfortunately, are strengthening as they continue to move to the northeast. So it's something we'll watch for our Georgia counties. These storms here, these cells here, will continue to lift to the northeast. So again, this is going to move off to the northeast. So heads up to all of you from Waycross to Folkston. And then again, a big heads up to those of you south of Jacksonville, St. Johns County, Putnam County, Clay County, southern Duval. We saw some signs earlier in some model runs that might be the area where we have some good instability, which is a bad thing, and that would make some of these cells spin over towards you as well. There's the big picture. There's that tornado warning that was near Valdosta. Brunswick, you're still getting hammered with just that steady rain that the rest of us saw earlier. All of those out running the Donna Marathon, they had a soaked finish to that with all of that rain that came down in the Jacksonville area. Now, right now it's calm there, but again, we're watching out to the west. So let's zoom back in on that tornado warning, and maybe we could pull the warning up over the radar, and so we can get a better look at exactly where that box is overlaying on the radar. But look at this, you see the lightning, you see the darker colors, maybe perhaps some hail in these storms. So it's not just the tornado that we're worried about. We're worried about hail. We are also worried about strong straight line winds, potentially up to or over 60 miles an hour, which again can also knock down trees, can knock down power lines. It can cause some power outages. It's a good idea on days like today when there is a tornado risk as well, just to keep your devices charging. Because if you're watching us on TV and you happen to lose power, don't forget you can pull us up on your phone, on your iPad, and you can watch our coverage through the app, through the website, through Facebook or YouTube as well. So here is our tornado warning. Again, this is moving to the northeast. So heads up to Sanderson. It's moving in this direction, that strong cell moving your direction. This tornado warning goes until 3 o'clock. I'm going to step off screen really quick while you are continuing to look at where that is heading next. I'm just going to take a look at our chat that we have going with the National Weather Service too, that's keeping a close eye on these cells, and they're the ones that issue the tornado warnings. So right now we do have a tornado warning that's in effect until 3 o'clock. We're also going to watch out for some of these other cells over Bradford and Alachua County. They're getting a little bit stronger too, with some strong wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour and pea-sized hail. So that's what all of you who are experiencing a thunderstorm right now outside of the tornado warning could expect. Strong straight line winds, the severe thunderstorm over places like Columbia, Hamilton, Clinch, Georgia, that's thunderstorm producing hail, perhaps 3/4 an inch and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then again with a tornado warning over Baker, Columbia, and Union. Not only could it be producing a tornado, it could be also producing hail as well. So you're taking a live look over an area south of Sanderson. Look at that. So we'll keep an eye on this area because unfortunately, again, we have this strong cell moving in that direction. So for those of you here in the path, there's a look at that live look. It's cloudy, we've had some rain, and unfortunately, we have a strong cell in the area. So this is a tornado warning, and that strong cell is continuing to move off to the northeast. It will move over a Lusty Battlefield around 2:54 p.m. It will move over Manspur at 3:02 p.m., Cedar Creek Church at 3:10 p.m., Osceola Natural Area at 3:11 p.m. and Kenny at 3:18 p.m. So notice that we also pointed out some areas to you that weren't even in the tornado warning. And that is because if it continues to stay strong, it will move off to the northeast as well and then move in your direction. This is the cell right here. That's what looks concerning. That looks like it could be rotating. It could have strong straight line winds, and it could include hail as well. Ryan, maybe we get another check on the hail, just the hail graphic that shows us where we're seeing signs of hail. We were seeing it within this cell earlier, and the way it, those darker colors, it's a sign of that too when we look at reflectivity on radar. There's the hail tracker, so this is likely picking up on where it just moved over. So if it has hailed in your area, or you saw some sort of debris, some trees fell down with the straight line winds, after the storm has moved through and it's safe to go outside, please don't forget that you can send us your pictures on First Coast News Weather Watchers. But again, if you are in the warning area, mainly across Baker County and on the east side of Columbia County, do not go outside. You need to be in your safe spot, which is, of course, a room on the lowest level of your home, and it has to be an interior room. So sometimes we think a bathroom is fine. It's not if it has an external wall, if it has a window, or you could create a window in the bathroom. So a closet, an interior hallway, an interior bathroom, all good options. Again, there's our look at our tornado warning until 3 o'clock, Baker, Columbia, and Union County. Also, that same area under that severe thunderstorm warning until 3 o'clock. I'm joined again behind the scenes by meteorologist Ryan Jones, who is doing a fantastic job tracking radar. So thank you, Ryan, for that. Now, she has been keeping a close eye on the potential path of this storm. But what I want to do now is get a big picture, because a lot of you might be tuning in from outside, say, Baker County, and you need to know what's going on in your area. There are places like Brunswick. You're still getting drenched with the rain that drenched a lot of us earlier this afternoon or late this morning. And so there is that first band that moved through. That was just steady rain, heavy at times, but it wasn't severe. Unfortunately, we are not out of the woods because we have all of these thunderstorms popping up down here. These are the ones that could become severe, especially if you saw some sunshine or you're seeing sunshine outside right now. That's not a good thing. Sunshine means it's more unstable, and an unstable atmosphere is more likely to spin or produce a severe thunderstorm. So again, while these storms continue to move to the northeast, so they're moving in this direction, this whole system here is kind of spinning. We were laughing earlier that it almost looked like a tropical storm. It has that kind of spin to it. Thank you, Ryan, for putting that into the play mode so you can see what we're talking about. It looks like bands. And so that's another tornado warning. All right, let's zoom in on this one, Ryan, to get a look. It looks like it's right over Fargo, reaching into Georgia. So that is another tornado warning. We'll get a close look at that one. Again, it's on the fringe of our county, but still something that we'll zoom in and keep a close eye on too really fast. So this is we have two tornado warnings now that are in effect. So the tornado warning is the box in red. The severe thunderstorm is the one in yellow. So Fargo, you are included in that tornado warning. And this cell here will continue to move off towards the north and northeast as well. So that's the second one. Ryan, let's go back to the first tornado warning though. Check back in. That is why we are streaming right now with this coverage. So as we zoom in, let's see here. Right now, it's crossing over 90. It looks like it's heading towards I-10. Kenzie, my wonderful director, I also have Carolina, the producer upstairs too. Is it possible to jump back in on ABC and NBC really fast, just so we can give a heads up to those who might know people traveling along I-10? Awesome. We'll stand by real quick as we load that and we bring in NBC and ABC.
This is a severe weather update from the First Coast's most accurate weather team, certified by Weather Rate.
We have been tracking this tornado warning. By the way, there are two tornado warnings now, but I'm jumping on your air really fast here on NBC and ABC to let you know that this possible tornado is about to cross over I-10, and Sanderson, you are included in this as well. If you have any family or friends traveling along I-10 from Jacksonville to Lake City or vice versa, please tell them to pull over, wait till this storm passes. I'm joined with meteorologist Ryan Jones behind the scenes. I'm meteorologist Lee Southwick. Ryan, if you wouldn't mind, let's pull up velocity and get a look at where that spin is right there. So that if we have a possible tornado, it would be on the ground in Baker County, and it's moving to the northeast, and it's going to pass over I-10 and on the west side of Sanderson. Let's put a track on this. As of last check, it was moving to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. Something else, by the way, that we're watching, you see those dark colors there? That means there's the possibility for hail within this thunderstorm, straight line winds up to 60 miles an hour, and then of course, again, as well, the possibility of a tornado. When we see lightning, that means it's a strengthening storm. It's a stronger storm too. All right, so it could be over Osceola Natural Area at 3:07 p.m., Pine Grove Church at 3:19 p.m., same for Taylor School at 3:23 p.m. and Baxter at 3:29 p.m. Let's zoom in real quick. Again, get a look at exactly how it's just about to move over I-10, over the interstate here. Notice those deep purples, so it's showing a strong storm, blinding rain. So even if there's not a tornado on the ground, it's about to be hard to see while you are driving on I-10. And also it has the possibility of producing hail. And on top of that, just those straight line winds. Unfortunately, those out to the west just went through some really heavy rain and the possibility of hail there too. So this is a potential tornado. We're seeing some spinning here, and it's moving on the west side of Sanderson, and it is moving to the north, crossing over I-10 right now. A good bit of lightning that has been popping up within the core of that cell. And I know I have a lot of you watching from all over the First Coast. Before we leave you, I just want to give you a big picture at what we're watching, because if it's not raining where you are right now, in fact, if you're even seeing sunshine where you are right now, that's not a good thing. So we had the heavy rain, the steady rain that moved over, it's still moving over Brunswick, but look at this. That is a line of storms that's developing, becoming stronger, it's strengthening, and these storms are moving to the northeast. So as they head closer to the coast, you see the path that they're taking, they unfortunately have the potential to strengthen and become strong, severe, or even start to spin. So all of the First Coast, unfortunately, under a low risk of tornadoes today, and that's why we are on your air for that tornado warning. All right, we are going to jump off ABC and NBC, and good news, Ryan is also talking to the National Weather Service behind me, but I believe that we have now officially lost a tornado warning. It has expired as of 3 o'clock. So we're going to jump off our streaming programs as well, our streaming platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and the app as well as our website, firstcoastnews.com. But don't forget that we will be here for the rest of the evening, keeping a close eye on these storms. Stay safe, stay weather aware, enjoy your programming. Back to that.
Stay with the First Coast's most accurate weather team. Stay safe and informed. Download the First Coast News app now. First Coast News, on your side.